Storm Debby has moved out into the water as of this morning, but that's not stopping the storm from causing some major flooding and storm damage.
And Ryan Coulter, of course, in the Weather Center tracking the latest here on Debby. Ryan, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Charles and Katie. Debby, as you mentioned, there in the Atlantic, and overnight we actually saw this storm picking up just a little bit of strength. Right now, maximum sustained winds are now up to 45 miles per hour. You'll notice that we're not seeing as much rain with this system. That's good news this morning. That system actually ingesting a little bit of dry air overnight. However, we're certainly nowhere near done with the impacts. I think it's going to spend most of the day today in the Atlantic, and then it will curve back around, making likely what will be a second landfall around the Charleston area. Should happen late today into tonight. And then the flooding risks continue today for areas around Wilmington towards Charleston. High risk of it there, but even that low end risk extends all the way north towards the I-85 corridor. Now back here at home, all is quiet today, and we have a few clouds above us. That's about it. Our chances for rain today, very minimal overall, but if we do see any impacts from Debby, that will end up being tomorrow. In fact, I think tomorrow really will be our highest chance of rainfall for the week. 60s and 70s out the door this morning. We're in the green for really low to no impacts to that morning drive out there. Afternoon forecast does include a return of those upper 80s, a nice break from it yesterday, but we are going to warm things back up again today. And then tonight, increasing clouds, still dry through the overnight hours, and then we have some of that moisture related to Debby making its way here through the rest of the week. I'll have a closer look at what that may look like for us coming up.
We're concerned about flooding. I mean, we know that in southeastern North Carolina, people have been victimized by heavy rains before. A number of these areas are already wet.
That's Governor Roy Cooper talking about the biggest concerns for our state this morning as Debby is churning into the Atlantic Ocean. And even with the tropical storm out to sea, the system is producing life-threatening flooding.
And Governor Cooper has declared a state of emergency in preparation for the arrival of Tropical Storm Debby. Over the next few days, the state is forecast to receive heavy rainfall, with some areas receiving 15 to 25 inches of rain, gusty winds, and inland flooding. Debby is now out in the Atlantic until early Thursday, making another landfall near Charleston, South Carolina, increasing flooding and flash flood risks for western North Carolina and the Upstate on Thursday.
And take a look at this intense new drone video from our storm chasers. This is an Arby's just north of Charleston there. It was hit by a tornado yesterday, spawned by Debby. You can see the major damage caused to that restaurant in the same area. Our News 13's Justin Berger talked to community members as they reported on the damage earlier that day, and here's what they saw.
The Arby's is probably the worst I've seen, and those trucks over there getting thrown like that, that's a lot of strength.
This is security camera video from True Auto. Wind strong enough to knock a pickup truck upside down.
We've lived down here for years.
And just across the parking lot,
Never seen this before. Isn't it a mess?
total devastation.
It looked like somebody set a bomb off in there.
Just yesterday, this Arby's was serving up roast beef and crinkle fries. Tuesday, tables, booths, chairs, insulation, and blown-out windows littering the fast food parking lot.
Everybody's riding through here and posting on Snapchat.
Mayor Tom Hamilton says about a half to 3/4 of a mile stretch of his town was hit hard.
I ain't never seen a tornado come through anywhere like this before.
Hamilton remembers a microburst a few years ago that leveled nearby homes, but this is the most business-related damage he can remember.
We need to be thankful. We need to be thankful that someone wasn't seriously injured or killed in this storm.
And members of the Asheville Fire Department are in Williamston this morning to help with rescues and possible flooding there. Chief Michael Case says they received their activation orders yesterday morning. The department has sent out swiftwater rescue teams made up of 16 people and 4 to 5 boats.
This one in particular is moving really slow. And when the storm moves slow, it has the opportunity to dump a lot of water in one location. That water is the problem because it catches people by surprise. And even when it dumps water upstream, the water flows downstream a couple days even after the hurricane is hit. So I would anticipate for us to have those similar type problems here.
And Chief Case says that they are prepared to help out in Williamston for up to 2 weeks.
And something that I want to point out to you here with Debbie, we've been talking about this storm since the weekend, and Monday morning is when we had that landfall right here in Florida. And it is still not much further down the line from that landfall. And now we are anticipating that second landfall to happen later on in the day today. For right now, we have seen a little bit of strengthening overnight, maximum sustained winds at 45 miles per hour. But the other thing that we've seen is some of that drier air being ingested into the center of Debbie. And that's actually somewhat shrinking the moisture field, at least for right now. Still, some broken shower activity continues for the Charleston area and areas further back towards the north. The latest track on this storm does bring it back on shore as we head towards the late part of the day today. And then through tomorrow, we will see it skirting past the Carolinas, eventually picking up speed by Friday, and then really moving quickly as we head on into the weekend.